I could stay like this forever following.
Hey guys! Hi! Welcome back to Sensitive to Style. My name is Fatu. Today I am here with my cousin, Masache. So, today's video is going to be very interesting. A new video for Girl Talk. We're going to be talking about relationships, and the question for today's topic is... The question for today's topic is, in a relationship, do you go for the person that your heart yearns for, that the person that you really want, or do you go for the person that really makes you happy just by treating you right? And maybe you're not, you know, obsessively in love with the person, but you feel good with the person. So
yeah,
what do you think?
Well, in my opinion, I think you should go with somebody that's good for you. That person that's good for you will always love you, always, you know, try to protect you and be there for you, like, no matter what. And then even if you don't love the person like that, when y'all together, and you end up going for the person, it takes time. Love will always come, no matter what. But
I think for me, like, in the beginning, I always used to be like, go for what your heart wants, fight for that love, you go girl. Because I guess, I don't know if I refer to movies a lot, but for me it was like, if you go for what your heart wants, things would always work out. Things would always make sense. And now I'm just like on a different page. Like, I guess, you know, wisdom comes with experience. And I just feel like now, for me, it's like, go for, well, who's good for you at the end of the day. Because you could go ahead and follow your heart, and you'll end up bruised up at the end because the other person is probably not as invested as you are.
And you put a lot of time and effort.
In relationships nowadays, I just feel like you go for who your heart desires, and sometimes it's just too much pain, and pain that's not even worth it. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta make sure that you're always on the same page with the man that you're with.
Sometimes females, we need to stand up.
We do. We need to stand up because sometimes yearning for love can make you accept the crazy.
Yeah,
like that, you know what I'm saying? Like that, you know that in your right mind, you'll be like, hell no.
What? Especially when it's over and you like don't have feelings for the person. You're like, what? But that's so stupid. You call yourself stupid. You're like, I was just stupid. You know, and sometimes you just,
girls, you need to go for what your heart wants.
No, not what your heart wants. What's good for you?
What's good for you? It's crazy. See, I just like, you see, that's the thing. I think the problem with this is that the conflict comes from what your heart wants and what is good for you. I think that's where, I think, yeah, that's a perfect example, like a perfect explanation. It's like, what is good for you, it's more of like a logic thing. And what your heart wants is like, you know, feeling emotions. And sometimes we allow our emotions to take over.
We do. If you're in love, I understand you try to block out the signs and be like, you know what, this person probably didn't mean this, or this person, this could be different, we probably could change this. You can't change nobody. You can't. You have to change yourself. There's no way you could go in a relationship and be like, I'm going to try to change this person to be the perfect guy I want. That's not possible.
Well, first of all, I think that obviously it's important not to go into a relationship and say, I want to change this person. But I do believe that some people change while being with other people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just depends. That I feel like everyone has to make a decision in their life. Like, I've been in relationships where I'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna change, and I was committed to it. And then maybe, you know, on the other end, there's a guy you're with and he doesn't want to change because he's perfectly comfortable and okay with what he's doing. Whatever you think that he's doing wrong, he doesn't think it's wrong. So of course you guys are gonna keep arguing about it and all that, and at the end of the day, it's just not worth it, you know, at all. A lot of people say love is not enough. I think love is enough. With the right person, love is enough, you know. And you got to think about it. Sometimes you're in a relationship, I think it's very rare to be in a relationship where you guys just love each other and that's all there is to the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes there's that complicity, there's the friendship, there's the, you know, there's so much more.
Like best friends. Like, you should always be, if you're really into somebody, that you should be able to click. Like, you know, like be best friends. And you can talk about everything, like tell them everything, open up to them about everything.
I always felt like if you met that one person that you were able to click with automatically and everything makes sense, and you guys have the same personality, you guys are compatible, you have the same goals in life and stuff like that, you know, of course, you know, two people can never be the same. Like, you know, there's always going to be differences. It's just all comes from both parties being willing to commit to, you know, making it work. You know, when one person slacks off, I mean, the relationship can't, I mean, nothing can work. You know what I'm saying? It requires, you know, effort from both parties.
And sometimes, don't love somebody. Like, you can't love a guy more than you love yourself. You gotta try to put yourself first, no matter what. Like, if you love him too much and he knows that you love him too much, he's gonna take advantage.
That's when he starts acting
He's gonna take advantage. He's not gonna chase you like how he was chasing you when you are first met, when he was taking you here, picking you up and doing all this stuff for you. He's not gonna want to do that for you no more. But if you show him that, get your life.
And that's so weird. Like,
would be
why
chasing
are
you.
guys like that?
Why
is it that when, you know, I'm like fronting and I'm acting up and I'm like, oh, you know, I don't want to see you or whatever, that is when they're attracted to you. But like when you put your heart out and you're like committed and you want to just give everything to them and you're sincere and you're loyal,
they
you know,
don't appreciate it.
Why?
They're gonna go after the ones that treating them like trash.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
Amen to that. And it sucks. I just like keep asking myself, is the type of love that I'm talking about, does that really exist, or am I just being naive? Because this is exactly like, I remember like a few months ago, I feel like a few years ago, there was like this meme on social media that was like went viral, and it said like basically how like the guy treats like the girl wrong and she becomes a you know, the guy, and he becomes a, and how like based on how you treat other people, it really determines how they, you know, look at the opposite sex, you know. Like don't I mean, for guys, like, don't blame girls who go around saying that, oh, all guys are the same, all guys are jerks or whatever, because the majority of these guys are
like, sometimes they come into the relationship like, oh, I'm different, and then end up being the same jerk that I was just with probably a couple of months or years ago. Sometimes you just gotta be cold, honestly. And then when you flip a defense for, it's like, why are you so defensive?
I just don't get it.
Why I'm so defensive?
And you know what I realized, especially like in my recent relationships, it was kind of like when I was like cold or whatever, that's when he was reaching out to me. And when I was reaching out to him, he was cold. Like, you know, in a relationship, you just gotta make sure that, yes, there's love and everything, but you guys gotta be on the same page at the same time. Like, I'm not gonna be chasing you when you don't want me anymore. Like, that's just too much pain, too much drama. So I just decided to let go and just realize that, yo, if a man wants you,
he's gonna fight for you.
He's gonna fight for
you.
No matter what. He's gonna come and get you.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah.
If he's not coming after you, if he's not on your, it's because that's what it is. That's how he feels.
Especially if he's not even chasing you. It's like, I don't want you to chase me, but show me that you care and that you love me. You know, show me that you care.
Actions, like, don't tell me.
Yeah, it's easy to talk. Like, we talking right now.
Yo, do you know how many times I call her and I'm like, oh, this is what happened, whatever, and then I just will go right back in a relationship. Like, it's always like that. Like, you know, we talk about things because, you know, it's all about the logic, but that doesn't mean that in certain, when it's like time to make a decision, we necessarily think about it. You know, we just follow our emotions.
Yeah, we do.
Like, you know,
we be like, you know what, let me just give him another chance, or let me just get back with him. Like, he's probably the perfect guy. One day he's probably gonna, like, you know, change, or he's gonna try to love me more. Sometimes it just don't be like that. Sometimes you just gotta let go and keep for shit. And then try to find somebody that really cares for you and loves you.
If a guy does not and cannot be with you at your lowest point,
he's not the person.
He is not the right person for you.
He's not at all.
If you are going through some, and that guy, that man, or that boy could not be there for you, girl, walk away. Because a relationship, like, even when you talk about marriage and stuff like that, you're talking about lows and highs and all that. I mean, what does that mean to you? Lows and highs, that means that when we going through deep, we need to be together.
You're gonna be gone
on the highs, like, we need to be together.
Especially if you're like, if y'all going through, like, you like in a deep depression mode, he's not there for you. He's not like, baby, what's going on? Trying to hear you out, trying to cheer you up. If then
this is the period that he decides to withdraw, that needs to be a sign for you.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
You know, it sucks. Seriously, I mean,
it's true. It's true, and sometimes you put so much effort into, like, especially females, like some guys do put a lot of effort into relationships.
They do.
Some females put so much effort, like will go all out for a guy, but at the end of the day, he does not appreciate it.
I think that
he doesn't appreciate it at all.
Especially right now, are being raised entirely differently, and it just sucks because,
like, especially from like where we're from, Like, you know, like our parents sometimes, not our parents, but like sometimes like African parents would be like, you know, you got a big heart, you need to calm your heart.
Yeah,
sometimes like just calm your heart, like accept this. No, that's not how it's supposed to be.
Not.
Sometimes you can't accept everything that a person
cannot
does
accept
to you.
everything.
Everybody has
I'm
a
just
limit.
that's funny.
It's like everybody has a limit. Like, you know, every female has a limit. When you get to that limit, then he needs to go. If he's not trying to, like, you know, better you or trying to tell you, like, you know, what we doing next, what our future plans are and stuff like that, then if you just don't waste your time.
The thing is that sometimes he even says it.
But don't come and waste my time if you're not serious. I feel like everybody knows what they
at the
want.
end of the day, like, it doesn't even matter anymore because there's guys who would waste your time and they don't care. They'll tell you what you want to hear and they don't care. You know, it's like at this point, like, there's nothing that we can tell you to say that, oh, this is what you need to avoid.
This is the perfect guy.
This is the perfect guy.
There's no such thing as a perfect guy.
It's just about the person that you just really need to focus on is yourself and how you're feeling, and that's the most important. At this point, we can't say, oh, all guys are the same, all guys are not the same, this is the type of guys you need to stay away from. There's no such thing. He can start out great and then he just ends up.
Honestly, just go with a guy that's gonna show you a lot of effort. I mean, like, you know, put a lot of effort into the relationship and show you that he cares.
And always put yourself first.
Yes, always.
You're gonna be good, okay?
But sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, like, when you're in love with somebody, you tend to lose yourself.
You do.
You tend to lose yourself. You tend to lose yourself a lot, you know? You just put it, because all you think about that person.
You forget yourself.
You do.
Like, all you're thinking about is the person,
even sometimes
what they're
doing,
you know, like, oh, you want to be with this person and stuff like that. And sometimes, let me tell you, there's some guys, like, for them, it's just kind of like, when you start doing that, it's kind of like it suffocates them. Like, they just want their own space and stuff like that. And it's unfortunate because, you know, like, sometimes in relationships, there's girls who are just loving like that. They just want to be like that.
And those sometimes those girls get, like, taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Like, guys will be like, she loves me so much, let me just use her. And that's just man.
It sucks.
And I always tell guys, like, you got a sister, I'm somebody's sister, I'm somebody's daughter.
I would say that too. I'm like,
I'm somebody's child.
Treat me like you would want one of your family members.
Yeah, especially your mom.
I'm not really that different. Like, you know, these guys out here, like, treating women like you would not even accept that for your sister, your cousin, your mom, or whatever.
They were not.
I'm someone else's, like, sibling too. Like, I'm
somebody else's daughter, somebody else's sister.
It's crazy, but I think that in order to just really be happy, you just gotta be happy with yourself. Yeah, you have to pay attention to how you're feeling in that moment, and you just have to be, you know, sincere with yourself. And sometimes you have to withdraw and really analyze the situation and make sure that you're making the right decision for yourself. You have to put yourself first, because I think that's the difference between, you know, when you go for a guy that you want, that your heart desires and stuff like that, sometimes you have to notice this guy, if he's not doing all the stuff that, you know, you guys talk about and stuff, he's putting himself first because he doesn't want to do it and he doesn't care about you. And I think that in a relationship, that's not really what it's all about. It's not about necessarily putting yourself first, but, you know, once you decide to commit in a relationship,
it's a two people thing. You gotta, like, if you're gonna make decisions, make sure, like, you know, let me know.
But, you know, when you realize until you guys are at least married, you know what I'm saying? Like, just always put yourself first. It's the safest way. And then, you know, when you put that ring on it and he shows you that he's all the way there and he's there mentally with you, then you can go ahead and just try to, like, you know, bring down your guards a bit and just do your thing, and then, you know, start, like, prioritizing. But, you know, before that, if you're just in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, girl, relax. Don't stress yourself. All those tears, all the anger and stuff like that, you're just hurting yourself.
It's the fact that sometimes, like, I'm not gonna front, you know, keep it
you're hurting yourself, and he's probably out there having fun.
Yes. And it's sad because you could, like, cry today, and then tomorrow he's probably gonna come wipe his tears, and you're gonna be like, oh, okay, let me just run back to me change. Unfortunately, he's gonna be the same person he was 2 weeks ago, or 2 days ago, or 1 day ago. So
I think that's one of my biggest mistakes, feeling like, you know, just because we spoke about it or something like that, and you know, there was an apology that made it good enough to just make everything okay, or made it good enough to say, okay, oh, because he said it, he's gonna change from just a day ago or last week. You know?
No, sometimes you can't do that like that.
But anyways, so I hope
I hope this wasn't too much.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't too much. And I think that we're going to be doing more videos. If you guys have any topics you want us to talk about, just let us know. Send me an email, sensitivestyle@gmail.com, or leave it in the comment box and we'll talk about it. Okay?
And also like and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
Bye guys, and stay whole.
And thanks for watching.
Bye bye.
Find